Welcome everyone! Today will be a very chaotic and short vlog because we booked a bus tour on Klook to go visit some attractions in Miyazaki as they are hard to reach with the train, and so we spent most of the time in the bus. The tour was in Chinese, so we didn't understand a lot, but at least we were able to visit some pretty places. And in the beginning they wanted to put us in a minivan and I got sweaty and scared and I felt like kind of claustrophobic, but they were so kind to switch us to a bigger bus and I was so glad. And I always wanted to see how a service station look. Is that even the right word? I googled it, but I'm not sure. And they were kind of cute, so I didn't get anything, but at least we could take a little break and then we were ready to continue with our little travel. But yeah, it was a rainy day and a lot of traffic on a Friday, so we spent a lot of time on the road and we arrived at the first destination, but it was like 1 or 2 hours later than it was on Klook. And I also saw that they removed this first attraction with a cherry blossom spot, which looks very beautiful as well, so I don't know if they take it back or not, but I will post the link in the description so you can check it out and decide if this trip is something you would like to do. I think it's good that we did it with Klook, but maybe next time we will just rent a car so we can decide where we want to stay and how long we want to stay. We were so happy when we finally arrived at Kamishikimi Kumanoimasu Shrine, and it was such a mysterious and beautiful place. The shrine is used as a reference in the movie Hotarubi no Mori. I hope I pronounced it right again. And I watched it for the first time before this trip, so if you didn't watch it yet, go and watch it. It's really nice. And it's very sad as well. This is by far one of my favorite shrines in Japan. It was so beautiful with the rain and the moody weather. There was also a big hole in a mountain on the top of it, but we didn't make it on time as we wanted to take a few pictures and videos. In Japanese mythology, this rock was kicked and a 10-meter hole was made by Kihachi, a follower of the god who created Mount Aso. But yeah, the sad thing about the bus trip is that you only have a limited time at a spot. We were already late, so we continued to the next spot. I was so sad that we only had 30 minutes here, but I tried to soak in all of the emotions I had at this place. During the drives, the tour guide told us a few stories. They were in Chinese, so I can't really tell you what he was talking about, which was a bit sad. After an hour of driving, and because of all of the traffic, it was lunchtime already, and the whole group had a reservation at Kagurayado, a restaurant that is mainly used by bus tour visitors. The meal was included in the price we paid for the tour. The restaurant looked like it was from another time, and I really loved that they had a lot of spaces left for everyone. And they had our meal prepared already, and it was so good and looked so cute. We had a little mini grill again and also one platter for the meals. It looked like a traditional Japanese house and there was a lot of variety in the food, like rice, soup, sweets and little side dishes. We weren't hungry anymore and the bus was too big to enter our next destination, so we took a 15-minute walk to the main destination, Takachiho Gorge. If you Google Kyushu, it's one of the most shown attractions, and since I found this little bus tour, we added it to our itinerary. By the way, we paid around 70 euro for this whole trip, and this included the bus tour, the food, and also the information you get from the tour guide if it wasn't in Chinese. But yeah, the little walk there was nice, and it was surrounded by nature, and suddenly we noticed small waterfalls and we knew that our goal was close. And we were right. Just a few minutes away, we reached Takachiho Gorge. You can rent boats here, but as we were with the bus tour, I wasn't sure if we would be punctual and the ride is quite pricey, so we skipped it, and I was actually kind of glad because it looked like it was kind of chaotic, so it was still funny to see everyone struggling with controlling their boat and crashing, and like not a bad way. We had an hour here and I think even longer, but I have to be honest, if you didn't reserve a boat ride, which you have to do in advance, so you are not even sure about the weather and everything, there isn't that much to do here, so we just enjoyed the scenery and went into a few stores and took some pictures, and then it was time to leave anyway, so yeah. We drove another hour to our last goal, Amano Iwato Shrine, and I really like the story behind this place. Sun goddess Amaterasu hid in this place, but one day her brother played pranks on her and she got really mad, so mad that in fact she hid in a dark cave, refusing to come out. This is so relatable. And this made the world very dark and sad. All of the other gods and goddesses tried to get her to to come out of the cave. They tried everything they could think of, but nothing worked. Then one goddess had a funny idea. She danced in a silly and funny way that made all of the other gods laugh really hard. Amaterasu heard the laughter and got curious, so she came out of the cave to see what was happening, and when she did, her bright light returned to the world, making everything happy and bright again. And yeah, this is the cave that is told about in the story where she was hiding, which was so cool and beautiful and so mysterious as well. I really liked that we came here. I think it's funny that I chose this trip because I wanted to go to the gorge, but in the end I liked the other two destinations even more. I was a bit sad that we could only stay 1 hour and then we had to rush back, but I'm still so grateful that we had the possibility to visit all of those beautiful places. So yeah, even though today's vlog is quite short because we spent most of our day in a bus, we saw some really beautiful places. I think we will rent a car next time as it will be cheaper and we can be more flexible with where we want to stay for as long as we want to stay. But in general, I would recommend this trip if you can't or don't want to drive, as it covers quite a few beautiful landmarks and the food is great as well. This is not sponsored by Klook, paid it with our own money, but I will still put the link in the description if anyone wants to book it as well. We took another 2 or 3 hours back to Fukuoka because the road was blocked, which was quite a bummer, but we had 10 minutes before Yodabashi camera closed. As they had cute gaming stuff, I really wanted to come here. In the end, we also went to Yoshinoya for the second time and we got this hot pot kind of meal again. It was delicious. This is also our last full day in Kyushu, so I hope you enjoyed our time in this area. I really want to come here again one day. There is just so much to see. And yeah, see you next week for another video. I decided to upload new videos around the weekend, so I hope I can stay on schedule from now on.